Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back. Really appreciate you stopping by. Today I've got the final part of my pickups from the 2025 National Sports Card Convention that ended here a week or so back. And I've got 8 cards that I want to share with you guys. A couple big boys at the end. So let me just jump right on in and get started. This first one, it's a Hall of Fame rookie card, 1962 Topps. Gaylord Perry. Man, this is a great looking example. Registration's nice and clear. The color, the beautiful blue sky. Love that it's got the 62 rookie star there. You know, these 62 Topps cards, I love them, I hate them, depending on how they look. Sometimes these brown borders are faded and they can be very light. You know, this one's got a nice rich brown color to it. And also, too, with these 62 Topps, as you all know, that they get very chipped up. This one's got a few light chips there, here and there, but not bad at all. Really beautiful card, beautiful presentation. So very happy to add another Hall of Fame rookie card to the collection. I was looking at this card and I recognized the young man who was working at the dealer's table, and I knew he was from YouTube, but I couldn't remember who he was. I couldn't remember his name or his channel, and so I actually ended up just saying to him, "Are you on YouTube?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, well, what's your name?" And he told me his name is Garrett, and he has a channel, Ballpark Memories. And so I had seen his videos several times, and I just couldn't remember who he was. And I kind of felt bad a little bit, but then I said to him, "Well, do you know who I am?" I gave him the old, "Do you know who I am?" And he was like, "Nope, I don't know who you are." And so I kind of chuckled and introduced myself to him. But while I was looking at this card, another card he had in his case caught my attention, and that was this beautiful 1957 Topps of Ted Williams. And so I was able to work with Garrett, and we bundled these two together, and I got a great deal, and I got 2 beautiful cards. So here is the back to the Gaylord Perry. Just really, really nice looking card. And look at this beautiful 1957 Topps Ted Williams. High eye appeal with a low grade price. That's right up my alley. You know, this card typically you'll get a lot of snowing, distorted image sometimes. This is just clear, very nice. A lot of times too with these cards, they can be quite a bit off-centered. This one's not centered perfectly, but it's not bad at all. Here's the back, number 1 in the set, number 1 card in the set. So, you know, there's condition issues that can be found with these cards just being the first in the set. And this card is graded at 2.5, and it's properly graded if looked at closely. But man, it just looks great, man. I love this. Like I said, high eye appeal, low grade price. Thank you very much every day of the week. So there's those 2. This was actually my very first purchase of the show. 1938 Goudey, Bobby Doerr. Purchased this on Wednesday, first day. Looking around, I had a few years ago had an opportunity to buy this card from a friend, and he was giving me a really good price on it, and I stupidly did not take him up on his offer, and I had regretted it ever since. This is, I think I just mentioned, maybe not, but this is considered Bobby Doerr's rookie card. And so just a fun card. I like the heads up, these big head Goudeys with the cartoons on them. They're really fun cards. And, you know, this one's got some toning to it. It's not white there, but definitely got a nice image there. Bobby Doerr, nice bright yellow down at the bottom. So that toning doesn't bother me at all. And again, that's probably what affected the grade. And that's fine with me because it gave me this card at a very nice price. So very happy to add that one to the collection. I guess you could call that another Hall of Fame rookie card. Next up, I purchased this beautiful 1970 Topps Johnny Bench. This is a card that's been on my radar for quite a while. I actually have a copy of this card, and this one here is quite an upgrade. This is actually my childhood, from my childhood collection. Johnny Bench, big old crease going right down the middle of the card. But man, I love this card. I've had this card for as long as I can remember, and it will stay with me forever. But definitely have always wanted to upgrade it and get a nice conditioned copy of the card, and now I have that with this beautiful 1970 example right here. It's such a nice card, great colors, great image, just really beautiful card. Really glad I was able to land this one. And of course, this card is a very desirable card. Third year bench for one thing, and it is a high number, as you can see there, number 660. So the high numbers were a little bit short printed those years. Here's the back, just nice and clean. Just a great looking example. Really happy to have that one in the collection. Next up, walking around the show on Saturday, I was with my friend Andy over at D's Collection and Greg over at Tiger 727. And literally the show was ending. The show was closing. And we had stopped by a dealer's table, and Greg was looking at a card, and he was taking some time deciding whether or not he wanted to purchase the card. And Andy and I were looking around, and Andy actually found a card that he was interested in and he bought. And I was looking around, and the guy had some Cuban cards, and I bought a Caramello Deportivo of Lloyd Davenport, great Negro League player. And so that was pretty cool. And Andy and Greg ended up buying cards off the same guy. So the show literally was ending right there and then as we were dealing with this dealer. And so we walked over to the line for the trade night, and Andy and Greg decided that they were going to take off. So I literally got in line for the trade night, and it was about a 15-minute wait in line, and to get into the trade night. And when I finally got in, I walked in, and there was a gentleman sitting right there when I walked in, and he had a bunch of cool cards, Japanese cards and Cuban cards. He had a Japanese issued Babe Ruth card, and immediately caught my eye. So I went right straight over to his table, and I saw this awesome 1993 BBM Ichiro Suzuki, his Japanese rookie card. Look how young he was there, man. Wow. And so I immediately started talking to the gentleman about this card. And, you know, it was Saturday night, one day left to the show. I was going Sunday still, did not have a lot of money left on me. So I was trying to make a deal with the gentleman. So finally I just said, will you take a partial trade? And he said, well, what do you got? So I showed him the Lloyd Davenport Caramello Deportivo that I had just purchased 20 minutes before that. And so he looked it over, and he offered me $25 more in trade value than what I had just paid for this card. So I really didn't want to get rid of that card, but I really wanted this Ichiro rookie. And so we worked a deal. I ended up trading him that Lloyd Davenport and some cash, and I ended up walking away with this beautiful Japanese BBM Ichiro Suzuki. Just a fantastic card, man. So happy to add this one to the collection, and got a nice little story behind it as well. So that was cool. Very cool pickup. Here's another one. Another Hall of Fame rookie card. Rodney Carew. Really looked at a lot of Carew cards. I wanted one that was fairly well centered. And I wanted one that was fairly well centered, that was in my budget. And I walked around that whole building 3 or 4 times. There was plenty of Carews there, but they were either, first of all, 98% of them were off-center a lot. This is a very, very difficult card to get decently centered even. So they were mostly off-centered, and I did find one that was very nice, but the guy wanted way over comps for it. I tried making him an offer that was still above comps, but closer to what comps would be. And the guy said to me, well, you know, this is really nicely scented. And I was like, yeah, no kidding, dude. I've been looking all over the place for a decent scented one. He's like, well, you know, I'm going to stick with my price because if I don't get it, I'm going to keep it for my collection. So I said, all right, well, I don't blame you. And anyway, kept looking, and I came across this one, and this one really looks pretty nice. It's decently centered. It's beautiful, actually, and it was much cheaper than the one I was looking at, even at the offer I made to the gentleman. And so very happy I was able to add this one. It's a great looking card and had quite a bit of extra money left over compared to what I was going to pay the other gentleman. So really happy to get the Carew rookie into the collection. And so that's another Hall of Fame rookie card. So I think I need 5 more Hall of Fame rookie cards, and I'll have a rookie card from every Hall of Famer going back to 1958. And most of the big ones, the only other big one I have left would be the Seaver. And if I somehow cannot land that one between now and next year, maybe that'll be a target for me at the National next year. I don't know. You never know what'll happen. But so anyway, a couple big boys here. This one is a Caramello Deportivo, 1945-46, Mini Minoso, first ever card produced of him. 1945, I believe Minoso would have been 22 years old, 21, 22 years old when this card was issued. Saw this card on the very first day on Wednesday. Had some hesitation based off the condition. You can see there's actually a hole in the card right here, and you can see the issues going on with it. It's a 1. It's definitely graded properly, but I just had hesitations regarding the condition. So I kind of walked around. I walked around the whole building actually, and there was only 2 of these cards at the whole National out of the hundreds of thousands of cards that were in that building, 1 million cards in that building maybe. And there was only 2 of these cards. There was this one, and there was another one that was at Love of the Game auctions, and it was graded in SGC too. And you couldn't buy that one because it was part of their auction. And so this one was actually the only one in the whole place that you could buy. And so I was thinking about this card, man. I couldn't get it off my mind. And I talked to my friend George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards, and he was like, dude, those cards don't come up. Like, when are you going to be in the same place as that card with the money in your pocket and the ability to purchase it? And, you know, I started thinking, and he was right. You know, you know what? There's only 93 of these graded total between SGC and PSA. Extremely popular player, Mini Minoso, and first ever card anywhere in the world issued of him. I know for a fact that there's way more than 93 people that would want to add this to their collection. So, you know, I told myself, what are you waiting for? I got back there, I'm walking back, I'm like, the card's going to be gone. I know it's going to be gone. Got back there, and it was still there. And, of course, I worked with the gentleman, and he gave me a pretty good price. I tried to beat him up a little, and he came down quite a bit. And we met in the middle, and really happy to have it. You know, you can see what the issues are on the condition. But the thing of it is look at that. That is just a great registration there of him sitting there. And, you know, the thing of it is with these Caramello Deportivos, the company that produced these, they didn't actually take pictures of these guys and produce the cards. They actually took pictures from newspapers and magazines, and that's how they made these cards. And so a lot of times the registration is terrible on these, like they're very light, or, you know, you can't see, there's marks, and you can't see very good the player. But, man, this one is just great. Really, really nice registration as far as the important area. And I did talk with the guy I bought it from. He actually works for Hake Auctions. He specializes in Cuban and Negro League cards, and he's the one who actually had this graded. And these cards were meant to be pasted into an album, and this one was, and it was removed. And a lot of times they get very badly damaged when they're removed. A lot of times you can't even see the backs on these. And I asked him, I said, you know, if I would have cracked that out of the slab, you know, is it going to fall apart on me? Like, was it pretty solid or anything like that? And not that I ever would crack it out of the slab, but he told me, he said, you know what, it was solid. And he said he had a couple of others that weren't so solid, and SGC actually wouldn't touch them. They sent them back to him, and he said, you know, if it was that bad, they wouldn't even touch it. And he's right, and I've heard that before. So just so thrilled to have this card, man. It is just such an awesome card. I love it. I love it. Mini Minoso. So there is that, the long story to go with it. Finally, the last pickup. Here it is, 1954, Topps, Henry Aaron. Man, his rookie card. You know, people ask you when you're going into the show, like, what are you targeting? What's on your list? And I don't ever really have anything specifically that I'm targeting, but going into the show, in the back of my mind, I really wanted to see if it was possible to add this card to the collection. And there's a lot of these cards out there, man. There's a lot of these cards, and there's no shortage of them. But it is not an inexpensive card. And, you know, to find what I targeted as for my budget that I wanted to spend on this card, to find something with decent to nice eye appeal, you know, I'm looking at low-grade cards. And to find something with nice eye appeal is a very difficult thing to do. And again, I walked around that building multiple times looking for a nice example of this card. You know, this card has some issues. You can see them. I don't need to point them out. But the wonderful thing about this card is, number one, this card is known for having snowing and registration issues, especially around his face. This one's really nice. And number two, the color on this thing is fantastic, man. The color is bright. I saw a couple of other ones that they didn't stand out as far as the colors are concerned. And so, man, I am just thrilled. Hank Aaron rookie card. Oh, I can't even believe I was able to add that one to the collection. And here's the back. You know, you can see what the grade is. It's properly graded. But, man, it is a beautiful card. I was so thrilled to be able to add it to the collection. So that's all I got, guys. That is pretty much the end of my national wrap-ups. I do have one more national-related video that I'll come out with, and it's just I want to share a wonderful and very generous gift I received from a good friend in the community, and that will be it. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys watching. I always appreciate the comments and support. Talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.